Gentlemen.
Hey guys, welcome back. Nerdy Gentleman here, and wanted to do a quick overview. I know there's a lot of leaks and information that's out there about the different ships that are going to be going through and getting introduced at IAE 2953, and I kind of wanted to throw my 2 cents in there. I actually am really excited about the new RSI ship, the RSI Mining Ship, the Arastra, that's going to be announced. It's probably going to go through and be in a white box phase or something that's going to be released later on. I really don't think that it's going to be one that's going to be a direct to flyable. If it is, that would be amazing. But I am quite excited about it, mainly for 2 or 3 reasons. One is RSI. They've been doing a really big push for RSI ships to go through and really develop down and simplify, or not simplify, but nail in the design language for the ship, or for the ship series, for the RSI series. And you see that thing, you see that with the RSI Galaxy, the Polaris, and then also the introduction of this RSI Arrastra. The Arastra ships, Arastra is a primitive mill for grinding and pulverizing, typically gold or silver. It's actually the definition of the tool that's used. We do have a version of it here, a simple version. So just, you know, ores are put in there and they're just kind of like spun around, dug around. And it goes through and just kind of grinds them down. And that's where I wanted to go through and kind of throw my 2 cents in. A lot of people are looking at the ship as a... the information that we've kind of gleaned from it is it looks like this is an industrial mining platform. That's, let's see, the wiki goes through and says, an industrial mining platform was meticulously designed with safety and efficiency as top priorities. It features remote operator seats that offer additional protection for the crew and onboard refinery that enhances the workflow to maximize profitability, an automated mineral storage pipeline that seamlessly prepares gather resources for transfer, and an auxiliary garage that enhances operational flexibility during on-site activities. So looking over the model here, and this is in Sketchfab, if you guys want to go through and kind of check it out yourself, I'll have a link down in the description. We can go through and see a couple things that kind of really point out. So I see on this ship 1, 2, 3 turrets, remote turrets. You can tell they are remote turrets because at least on this model they don't have the kind of bubble and capsule that you see like on a old Boeing bomber or anything like that for the undergunners, the belly gunners. But another thing that you can see on here is that everybody's going through and saying that it looks like this has 2 mining heads. Like the mining heads will attach here and kind of being out on these propulsions, these things that go out for over the fins. But I don't agree with that, and we'll go to that here in just a second. But looking overall, you do see that there are your rear engine nacelles back here. And you do have your fins that pop out right here that are most likely going to be, you'll see you have your VTOLs under there. These right here, I believe these fins are inertial dampeners or engine braking. They kind of look like the dampening wings that can go through and flare up to go through and have a little bit more control in atmosphere is kind of what I'm kind of thinking on that one. You do have a cockpit for command overlooking the ship, which I do think is a nice design. It does look like you have a little viewing area in here, and a lot of people have pointed out this little bumper bar right here. And that's one of the components that I think is more interesting because the Arastra originally is a grinder, and it's used to go through and grind silver and gold. I'm actually thinking that these, if you look at these fins right here with this bumper bar, it would actually make a bit more sense to me if this was a kind of like what we'll have on the Reclaimer on the Vultures with like a hull munching capability. I actually see this as an asteroid grinder right here. If we kind of looked at this overview and you were to go through and have an asteroid pulled into this area right here and be able to go through and kind of guide it into this with this bumper bar, So you go through and make sure that it doesn't hit the ship. It's one of those things where you'd be pulling asteroids into this. So maybe we're looking at a spot to where you do have traditional mining with mining lasers, but you might also have for larger chunks, or maybe after you do the initial break, you can go through and tractor beam those smaller breaks into this area where it's ground down. And it could be something to where you're also doing it to where it's, you know, off of the second break, and you're looking to where you just have the purple rocks at that point in time, basically the ones set up for extraction. There might be something on here to where it's going through and doing the grinding on this side, and those are being kind of hoovered into this area right here for the extraction out. So you might not have an extraction mode, you might just have a mining laser that's doing the breakdown, and then you might have either tractor beams or just a general hoovering of the materials into this area where you have these very, and I'd say more like the meticulously designed, the fins right here with the bumper bar. This is telling me this is something to go through and guide into this section. And also with that, this might not be a viewing area for actually doing the processing, but it might be something to where this is just kind of like watching where the minerals and everything like that are going in there. I think that's actually a decent guesstimate, and I haven't heard anybody really talk about it in a sense of, I think they're all just kind of going off of stuff that's in the game right now, what we do in the game right now, generally in the mining gameplay, where you have mining and extraction on a mining laser head, a mining mode and extraction mode. And I think that this is actually a grinder, like we would see on the Vulture inside the Vulture's forks. They're going to be introducing in 3.22 the I like munching as a word, but I think they just call it vehicle grinding. But the munching mechanism is going to be introduced in that part in time, not only for the Vulture but also for the Reclaimer. And I think this is going to be a similar gameplay loop that's going to be introduced on the RSI Arrastra, to where it's going to have munching capabilities right here. So you'll be able to go through and kind of like just bore out and destroy the asteroids that are going in there. Another thing to point out on here is that it does have a vehicle hangar on board. This does look like it's going to drop down from the top here, which you will be able to go through and drive up rocks and rock DSs and stuff like that. Land vehicles, but also I can see that being, if it's going to be, this is approximately the same size as the RSI Galaxy. The Galaxy we know has an extra small bay on there. So you'll be able to go through and park ships like the C8, the C8X Pisces, the C8R Expedition. All of the snub ships would be able to go through and fit in here, and then also you would be able to go through and have your ships, your vehicles, for your smaller vehicles on there. It looks like it might be big enough to go through and fit an Ursa rover in there as well. So I do think that's a great addition. I really like the ability to go through and have another ship, or be able to have friends be able to, pilot out and meet you out at a location, be able to land on ship and be able to get back to a home location quickly. I think that's a great option and opportunity. I'm going to go through and say that this ship has a quantity of 480 SCU of storage in these boxes. When looking at all the storage of these boxes that are the black boxes on the side right here, we actually did count them up yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it does look like this 6 is doubled back, so we would have 6, 12. And I don't see another one up top right there. So I'm going to say 14 on this side, 14 on this side. And then up here, it does look like they have enough storage in these sections for 2 boxes each. So if we say 14 and 14 on the bottom, that's 28. 32, because this is doubled. 36, 40, 44. It looks like there'd be another one right here. Or not, actually, in that section. So let's just say 44, 48, 52, 60. And then it looks like those are the double size, so the 8 SCU boxes. And if we do 8 times 60, that's where I'm going to come up with that 480 number. So I'm looking at probably 480 SCU of refined, because this is a part of that pipeline that it has. So this is after the refining. I'm going to say it has hard storage for 480 SCU of refined materials. And then it does look like it has some openings here to where you're going to be able to go through and have it to where you can probably transfer in bags from the mole or prospector and be able to transfer those in here for refining as well. That would be a guesstimate of mine there as well. I really do like the design of this ship. You can see you have some some thrusters here on the side for maneuvering thrusters. You do have 2 airlocks, one on each side, canopy over top. I think this is a really, really, really nice design ship. It does look to me like this turret might be one of the turrets that can articulate down as well. I would be a guesstimate for me is that this turret can go through and swing down towards the bottom to be able to go through and give you a little bit more coverage around the back. Or that might also double as a, there might be a tractor beam to where you can go through and tractor beam stuff in there. We have seen that with the Spirit C1, which has been a really cool one to check out and look at. But I am really excited on that, and with looking at probably about 480 SCU of mineral storage on the outside of the ship, I don't know how much storage there's going to be that can be just for any cargo on the inside of the ship. I'm also not sure if all of these for this external storage, if that's going to be something that will be able to get transferred to other ships on there as well. So I definitely would like to go through and hear what you guys think about that on the inside. But altogether, this is just going to be more of that specialized video, or this has been more of that specialized video of just talking about one ship, just the RSI Arrastra, and the things that I think that will be coming out for it. We will be getting more information on this here in the next couple days. CitizenCon, or not CitizenCon, IAE 2953. The schedule is up on the RSI site. And we can go ahead and pull that over here. I hope you don't mind my cats. There in the background, less than 21 hours to go. And we should be able to go through and see the schedule. So RSI is November 25th and 26th. So I'm thinking that that's probably going to be whenever we're going to get some announcements for new ships. I do see this going into a... my apologies. I do see this going into a release. I would like to go through and see it come out rather soon, only for the sense that, like I said, they're going to be coming out with... they're working on the Polaris and the Galaxy, and they have been working on those for a while. I can't see this coming down the pipeline really quick. This does look to be in a good, really good phase for at least the model that will be on display in one of the holo viewers on the site. But I think this is a very, very nice looking ship. I think it's got good lines, a good design overall. I am interested to see what the min-max is for crew capacity. And yeah. I really, really like this design for it. I haven't really been much for an RSI, for RSI's designs. And honestly, looking at it right now, the only ship right now that we have in game, not vehicle, but ship we have in game, that's an RSI design for cockpit and interior and the MFDs and everything like that that you used to fly, is the Connie series. So we have the Constellation Andromeda, Taurus, and all the others. There's, what, 4 of them altogether. Aquila and... something else. But I'm not super fond of the MFD and the display layout inside the ship. It takes up way too much space, and so I'm actually really interested to see them go through and get the design surfaces down, get everything kind of laid out and filled out for how it really needs to feel as you're commanding the ship. And then also would like to see how they're going to approach this with the mining aspect of it, because as I said, I think that these are... I think that its name is not just there because it's a mining type name or some kind of refining type name. I think that name is actually there because of the functionality of the ship, and that this is going to be a grinder. Like these fins and that bumper there are there for a reason, and that will be for... you might do the initial break, and then the rest of it is going to be the ship doing a lot of that, the further refinement down into it, from going through and doing the second break and bringing it in and getting stuff done. But that's just my take on it. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, what your speculation is for this ship. I'm really really interested in. I would love for this ship to go through and be a direct to flyable, but I will be pleasantly surprised, ecstatically surprised if it is, but I don't see that happening. I see this one being one of the ones that's going to take a little bit of time, and we'll see that come out hopefully within the next year. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Make sure you guys let me know what your comments are, or if there's things on this ship that you have seen or have heard about that, you know, maybe a little bit off with, or I don't know. Just let me know what you guys think. And are you guys going to be doing any trade-ins or updates or upgrades through IAE to go through and get the Arastra, the RSI Arrastra? Until next time, this is the Nerdy Gentleman reminding you to game happy. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys.
Gentlemen.